Hey, what is going on, freedom fighters? Welcome back to another Break the Chains Media. Today is We Are Change Wednesday, December the 3rd, 2025, here in the snowy, cool, and chilly Mile High City. We just got our first snowfall of the season, and, you know, it wasn't as bad as we expected it to be, you know. Denver Fails said I was the Groundhog Day guy, and I kind of was like feeling it, because it wasn't even snowing last night. Turns out we ended up with about a good 8 to 10 inches of snow, a little soggy, wet snow. But that is A-okay because it is December. It is Christmas. It's Christmas season. And it was hilarious watching these people. Just every time we get a snow, people just literally don't know how to drive anymore. They just go like, I don't know what to do. And traffic was blocked. Wadsworth was completely backed up. It was chaos, as is. Took me like an hour to drive around this morning, drop the kid off and whatever else. But either way, I hope everyone had a nice snowy day today. And speaking of snow, we are going to have plenty to talk about regarding cold weather and how we heat ourselves during the winter. Because Jared Polis worked with Public Utility Commissions and Xcel Energy, and apparently they're trying to completely revamp the entire system of Xcel, the entire system of Colorado, to 100% electric by 2050. Folks, I don't know about you, but this is bad news all around, completely, just utterly insane, ridiculous, total Agenda 2030 narrative, total Agenda 2030, green energy, shifting into more ways that the government can restrict and constrain your way of life. I mean, it's simply put. So we're going to get into all that. We're also going to get into Jenna Griswold and how she is, again, defying the DOJ by refusing to release voter data that the DOJ is requesting. And it's more than just Colorado. I believe it's like 12 or 14 states, including Minnesota, Michigan, Rhode Island, Pennsylvania. So there's a huge national conversation to be had about the DOJ's request for voter data and voter registration information. And of course, Jenna Griswold is par for the course. She is defying, and she's saying it's not lawful for the DOJ to ask for registration voter information. It's private data, so we're only going to give what is publicly available. Well, folks, the problem is, and it all ties back to the voter registration, the automatic voter registration that happens at the DMV, and it's actually you can follow through with all these other states. It's happening in all these other states too. All these other states do automatic voter registration through the DMV. And automatic voter registration registers what? It registers illegal immigrants. And we're going to get into that whole conversation. And we're also tying it back through with the illegal immigrants. Another lawsuit. Folks, it's hilarious. The level of lawsuits and the level of lawfare coming out of Colorado and focusing on the Trump administration, focusing on the DOJ. Another lawsuit. Colorado leads another lawsuit with 21 other states suing the DOJ over SNAP benefits for illegal immigrants. And as many of my detractors have posted on X, they said, it's actually for lawful residents. It's for lawful residents of the state, not illegal immigrants. You're lying. They're not talking about illegal immigrants. Folks, it is leftist linguistics, and this is what they do, because for the Democrats, for the left, when they say lawful residents, they are speaking about illegal immigrants. We're talking two different languages, right? Conservatives, right-leaning individuals, we'll call them what they are. They're illegal immigrants. They're not supposed to be here. They're not U.S. citizens that should be getting U.S. taxpayer dollar benefits. But the Democrats and all the upper apparatus, all the judicial and the AGs and the Secretary of States, everyone involved with these lawsuits, do not speak of them as illegal immigrants. So by their own definition, by the Democrats' definition, they're not illegal immigrants. They're lawful residents, legal residents, which means, yeah, anyone that comes here that is not a U.S. citizen will get some sort of identification number or some temporary visa, whatever that case may be. They use that information to register through the DMV to then be part of the government database, and then these people can apply for government benefits. This is how it works, and this is what is happening, not just in Colorado, but like I said, in states across the country. So today's live stream is going to be fun and interesting. We're going to get into all of that here today on We Are Change Wednesday on Break the Chains Media. If this is the first time joining Break the Chains Media, hit that thumbs up button, share this video with your friends and family, be a part of the chain gang, be one of the chain breakers here in the Mile High City, in the beautiful state of Colorado, because we have to fight for what we believe in. We have to stand up and fight, hold our ground. Don't let these progressive leftists, don't let these communists win in their agenda to destroy everything that is good and true and real in this world, because that is what they want. They want total and utter government control of your life, every way, shape, and form. And we're here to break that chain, folks. We are here to break that chain. So let's get it. Let's get after it. And let's move into it. But if you want to follow me on all the socials, you got breakthechains.media. That is the website. If you want to buy a Christmas gift for your friends or family members, Realm Walker Hot Sauce, homemade, hand-bottled hot sauce. I grew up myself. I got 4 gallons coming. So if you are interested, reach out to Realm Walker Hot Sauce on Instagram, or reach out to me on any of my social medias and ask me for a bottle. I got a few different flavors. Travel the 9 realms of Norse mythology through hot sauce. I currently have working right now, I have Niflheim, which is jalapeno, tomatillo, cilantro, lime. I've got Midgard, which is like a green Tabasco, but way better than Tabasco, I'll tell you that. It's with serrano, tomatillo, and lime. And then I have, where's the other one I have? I've got Muspelheim cooking up right now. That's fantastic. I got a few bottles ready to go. Red super hot peppers, Trinidad scorpions, and roasted red peppers. It's one of my favorite hot sauces. I've been making it for about 5 years now. And then I also have Ragnarok. Ragnarok is a delicious flavor. It's, if you've ever had a Chipotle, like a Tabasco Chipotle from Chipotle, it is smoked chocolate super hot peppers. So we're talking chocolate ghost peppers, chocolate Carolina Reapers, chocolate Douglas. All of these peppers I smoke on my smoker, and then I add Anaheim green chilies. I roast the green chilies, and then I make this delicious, spicy, and smoky, excellent hot sauce. So Ragnarok's coming, Muspelheim's coming, Niflheim and Midgard are on the docket. So if you are interested, reach out to Realm Walker Hot Sauce on Instagram or Break the Chains Media, any of the socials you can get there. And then we also got to rev up them chainsaws. We got them coming. Rev up them chainsaws, because Chainsaw Caucus is cutting through the government bureaucracy, bloat, and corruption, cutting through the failed attempts of fiscal responsibility of these politicians and of these elected officials who no longer represent the people and what it means to be a responsible elected governmental official. We've got to cut through the bureaucracy and bloat. The Chainsaw Caucus is doing that. So in the description below, in that tiny URL link in the description, you can click on that. You can join Chainsaw Caucus for $10 a month to support not only the Chainsaw Caucus, but you can support Break the Chains Media and all the effort I do here. So that is how we make sure our money is actually going to field real candidates who stand with the people. Chainsaw Caucus is a 527 nationally recognized PAC that will support and field any and all candidates who are America first, who are people and policy first, who are fiscally responsible. So, without further ado, we are jumping right into it. We're going to get into the timeline here. Hope all the audio is good. Hope everything sounds well. Let me know in the chat how it works, how it's sounding. But everything, all the levels look look like we're in a good place. Looks like we're in a good place. Let me double check. Hold on, sorry. All the levels look look like we're in a good place. We're set. We are set. Crushing it. I love it. I love it. See, I'm the editor. I'm the producer. I'm the content creator. I'm the main. I'm everything. I'm the jack of all trades here at Break the Chains Media. What is going on, Sherry? Thanks for hanging out in the stream. And let me know how the stream is. Let me know what your guys' thoughts are in the live chat. I check it out over there every once in a while. So if this is the first time jumping in, say hello in the live chat while we do the Twitter rundown here. So this is my first post this morning. This is talking about Venezuela. And initially my plan was today to speak about Venezuela and talk about really getting to the nitty-gritties of Tina Peters. But, you know, as the news develops here in Colorado, you got to kind of roll with the punches, as it were. But let's get into my thoughts on Venezuela. And really, it's difficult because I don't support war. I am not for military intervention. I don't want to be that guy that's rah-rah. Like, I've never been. I've always called out, military intervention in foreign wars. It is not beneficial, unfortunately. Like I've said in streams past, America's chief number one export is war, and that's a sad state of affairs that we're living in. But we're going to run through this really quick. While I'm not for war, the targeted attack of Venezuela has legal standing since they've been designated as a foreign terrorist group. Trump has since took the gloves off. President Nicolas Maduro faces federal criminal charges in the United States stemming from a superseding indictment unsealed on March 26, 2020 from the Southern District of New York. These charges brought by the DOJ accuse Maduro and several high-ranking Venezuelan officials of partnering with the Revolutionary Armed Forces of Colombia, FARC, a designated foreign terrorist organization to orchestrate a narco-terrorism conspiracy aimed at flooding the United States with cocaine. Cocaine and I'm sure fentanyl and other drugs as well. I mean, they are a drug trafficking narco-terrorist group. The allegations describe a scheme spanning over 2 decades involving the protection and facilitation of massive drug shipments in exchange for financial and political support. The charges are a part of a broader set of indictments against 15 current and former Venezuelan officials, but the primary counts against Maduro focus on narco-terrorism and related offenses. Count 1, narco-terrorism conspiracy, and I've got the U.S. codes attached. Count 2, conspiracy to import cocaine into the United States. Count 3, carrying machine guns and destructive devices in furtherance of a narco-terrorism and organized cocaine importation conspiracy. And count 4, conspiracy to carry machine guns and destructive devices. And I didn't even bring up the election interference stuff. This is the legal precedent that they're using to designate their justification in this political escalation in Venezuela. So it is interesting. We're going to keep our ear to the ground. We're going to keep our eyes on the prize. We're going to watch this and stay up on this closely. But we are going to be keeping eyes on Venezuela. We are going to be watching this escalation very closely to see what actually falls into their military involvement. How deep does it go? Is it going to be swift and quick, or is it going to be long and drawn out? Hopefully it will be the latter, or the former, right? I don't know. Yes. Hopefully it's going to be short and quick. I want to be a quick in and out, right? We don't want to be hanging out there longer than we have to. And we have the whole other conversation about over 300 billion barrels of oil reserves. There's a whole conversation to be had about the oil-rich country of Venezuela. And right now, the United States is using the narco-terrorist angle to get a beachhead, to get a military front there in Venezuela. And it is part of the Monroe Doctrine. It is part of the Monroe Doctrine. And making sure that our side of the hemisphere is safe and secure. And we could justify this because how many years and how many decades has America exported war thousands of miles onto the other side of the planet? Meanwhile, we've let all of the countries close to us, close to home, fall to the wayside and fall into disrepair and fall into these states of cartel-run narco trafficking. Right? So this is the larger conversation to be had. And like I said, I don't want to justify war, and I'm not here defending these positions, but coming in with a heavy hand for justifiable reasons is something that we haven't seen used in a positive manner. So I'm holding my reserves. I'm reserving my thoughts, right? It is interesting. We're gonna watch it unfold, but moving right along, because I can keep rambling on for this too long. I want to stay focused on the live stream, right? So let's see. I wanted to get into. So I've got the PUC here. I don't know. Did I share the? I don't think I shared the Jenna Griswold DOJ stuff. I guess I'll have to do that tomorrow. But I've got it pulled up. So yeah, this is the. Yeah. We'll get to that in a second. But here we go. We're gonna go jump right over to it. Okay, so I gotta take a breath. Since Jenna Griswold's on the front page, Gandalf's got something to say.
You shall not pass!
Gandalf really hates Jenna Griswold. I mean, I do too. I can't stand this. I can't stand this bitch. She's terrible. She's horrible. So, from the Rocky Mountain Voice, the DOJ can take a hike. Jenna Griswold rejects federal demand for voter data. This is something we've been reporting on here at Break the Chains Media for a while. I believe the initial request from the DOJ came in about May or June. We'll probably find it out here in the article here in a second. But yes, I love it. The DOJ can take a hike. Jenna Griswold rejects federal demand for voter data. December 3rd, 2025. What's actually super awesome, and I just noticed this earlier today before I went live, but the image credit. I don't know if y'all could see that, but the image credit from Break the Chains Media, Twitter, X, at Break the Chains M. They gave me credit. Would you look at that? Thank you, Rocky Mountain Voice. I did source this from a very difficult place called the internet. I know. I literally just searched for a picture. This is arguably my favorite picture of Jenna Griswold. I'm hopeful that they get an updated photo of Jenna Griswold, because although this is my favorite photo of Jenna Griswold, I bet and I know for a fact my new favorite photo of Jenna Griswold will be her in an orange jumpsuit, because she is a criminal. But let's get into it here, folks. From Jen Schumann from the Rocky Mountain Voice. Colorado Secretary of State Jenna Griswold escalated her standoff with the Trump administration this week, rejecting a request for the state's full unredacted voter file. Quote, "We will not comply with the Trump Department of Justice request for Coloradans' sensitive voting information. The DOJ can take a hike. It does not have legal right to the information. Colorado will not help Donald Trump undermine our elections and hurt the American people." This, to me, sounds like more leftist dribble. And to be honest, I think she's got more to hide. She's hiding whatever her Secretary of State office is doing with the voter data, with the voter rolls, and we're about to get into that after we're done reading this article. But the numbers ain't adding up, folks. The numbers are not adding up. For what it's worth, Jenna Griswold and the Secretary of State and what she's been doing here, she is actually using the automatic voter registration here at the DMV ever since 2013. Since 2013, Colorado has been using the DMV, the Department of Motor Vehicles, to automatically register residents to vote. And we'll pull up the footage, or we'll pull up the picture that I have, but let's continue. Colorado's refusal comes as the DOJ expands lawsuits into at least 14 states for denying similar requests. Those suits outline why the DOJ says it needs its full data. In Minnesota, the federal offices are asking the judge to order a state to produce its entire statewide voter file with all fields, including active and inactive voters, full names, date of birth, driver's license numbers, and the last 4 digits of Social Security number. That is exactly what the voter data asks for. The voter data that Jenna Griswold is saying that the DOJ doesn't have access to is exactly what's publicly available now. I believe the DOJ is wanting inactive and active voter data, as well as the illegal immigrants who are on the voter rolls. They are registering illegal immigrants in the voter data. The illegal immigrants get driver's licenses through the DMV, and they become automatically registered to vote, and they actually have to opt out of being a voter. This is from Shiloh Marks. The Department of Justice sued the state of Minnesota seeking an entire statewide voter registration list. This will include all illegal aliens living in Minnesota who have been fraudulently registered to vote. This is exactly what's happening here in Colorado right now. I keep looking over at my hair, and I just fucking hate how my hair looks right now. There it is. It's a little bit better. It looks a little good now. Oh, we're looking good now. Sorry. I'm so narcissistic. I'm so vain. I gotta like make sure I look beautiful every time I'm on a live stream. This is the next escalation is lawsuits from the DOJ suing the states. And you can see right here in Minnesota, they're suing the state of Minnesota for the full voter data. They're also doing the same in North Carolina. North Carolina finds non-citizen registrations during the federal probe. In North Carolina, federal inquiry uncovered multiple non-citizens on the voter rolls. Oh, you don't say. For some years. According to a WBTV investigation, affected individuals said they had no idea they were registered. Records show a U.S. attorney pressed the DMV after it claimed found, quote, no systemic issues, even as internal review pointed to staff checking wrong boxes on citizen forms. State election officials are now asking the DMV to hand over full Social Security numbers so they can run a deeper check on the rolls. Wow. This is what's happening in Colorado. This is why the DOJ is asking for full data information from the Colorado voter rolls, because they need to compare and contrast Social Security numbers, voter data from registered and unregistered, maybe deceased members. We're talking so much backlog in the voter data, it's sickening. So this is why the DOJ is doing what it's doing, and not just Colorado, but states across the country. The North Carolina DMV is being enforced to overhaul its voter registration system after officials uncovered that multiple non-citizens were registered to vote. Wow, it's almost like it's a ubiquitous, systemic flaw in these Democrat-operated cities, right? Or North Carolina, it's arguably more red, but you know as well as I do that the Secretary of State, AGs, they get into these positions. Democrat legislators pass these laws. This is how the system operates, right? They get progressive legislators to pass and write ridiculous laws that undermine and circumvent the federal government laws under the 10th Amendment, using their state rights to do these circumventing of measures, and then they automatically register illegal immigrants to vote through the DMV, and it's happening across the country. Michigan grapples with major registration discrepancies. Michigan's facing its own questions as Senator Ruth Johnson said 36% of last year's new registrations had invalid 4-digit Social Security numbers, but were accepted anyways. You don't say. We're going to see one of the most corrupt voter roll data systems in the country from Colorado. Mark my words. She also pointed to numbers showing that Michigan has about 500,000 more people on the voter rolls than residents of voting age. Critics argue that Secretary of State Jolyn Benson has passed voter information to a range of nonprofit groups. This is what's happening, folks, nationwide. This is the Democrat modus operandi. This is how they skew the systems. This is textbook Democrat voter registration operation 101. Pennsylvania and Rhode Island. Okay? Let's take a listen. See if we can pull it up.
And in this case, there was a decision up in the Third Circuit, which oversees Pennsylvania, that prevented a great group that does great election law work as well, the Public Interest Legal Foundation. I encourage you to look them up and look at their great activity. They're a nonprofit public interest law firm dedicated to election integrity. And they had sued for access to Pennsylvania voter rolls following a failure to disclose an estimated 100,000 non-citizen registered voters. Pennsylvania officials reportedly admitted that for decades, the Department of Motor Vehicles had allowed non-U.S. citizens to register to vote through the state's motor voter bill or system. So you go in, you get a driver's license, which they were giving, I guess, to non-citizens. Remember, it's not just illegal aliens who can't vote in federal elections. It's also aliens. People, if you're not a citizen, you can't vote, even if you're here otherwise legally. So I guess they were letting these non-citizens apply and get voter registration.
Yeah, and this is the leftist linguistics that I was explaining earlier, is that when I say illegal aliens, when the right says illegal aliens cannot vote, we are also talking about non-citizens who are here legally, whether it's through work visas or temporary immigrant status. They get temporary Social Security numbers or a personal identification number, right? It's not a Social Security number, but they have a number that they use like a Social Security number. They go into the DMV, they get registered through the DMV, and Colorado, along with Pennsylvania and many other states, are doing this, and non-citizens are automatically registered on the voter rolls. And then these people, unknowingly, unwillingly, are part of the voter data system. It's as simple as that. What is up, my man? Can't sleep easy. Appreciate you jumping in. You get a treasure chest, my man. You get a treasure chest. Thanks for popping in, dude. It was great. It was great catching up and talking last night too. Good shit. I gotta pause that, but so I highly recommend. I'm gonna share this. I'm gonna share this link after the live stream. I'm done here. I'll share this entire article. Rocky Mountain Voice does a fantastic job. I got this pulled up too, but let's keep going here with this. Colorado own history complicates the refusal, because Jenna Griswold is a piece of trash, and she's doing everything in her power to hide the information from Donald Trump, from the DOJ. Jenna Griswold is arguably one of the worst Secretary of States in the country, because she is so adamantly against the Department of Justice and the Trump administration, right? Jenna Griswold tried to keep Trump off the ballot in 2024. Jenna Griswold was face smacked by the Supreme Court in a 9-0 decision against her, taking it up to the Supreme Court. She's a disgrace, folks. But she not only did that, she's also in all these other legal arguments against the DOJ. She's a terrible, disgusting human. Yeah. Griswold urges the DOJ request threatens voter privacy, but Colorado has faced its own registration controversies. In 2022, her office mailed 31,000 postcards to non-citizens, encouraging them to register because of an ERIC data mismatch with the state's driver's license systems. Correction notices were sent, and the state blocked those individuals from using the online registration system. County clerks asked the list of receipts. Wow. Blah, blah, blah. County clerks asked for the list of recipients, but Deputy Secretary Christopher Beal said the office could not share it due to, quote, potential legal issues. That's what they say every time. That's what Jenna Griswold's saying right now against the DOJ. Privacy concerns, public privacy information, right? The office says it's now safeguarding against automatic registration attempts using the non-citizen driver's license, but past errors have raised concerns amongst outside watchdogs. Public Interest Legal Foundation and Judicial Watch have both sued the state for access to list maintenance records. Judicial Watch's case revealed the state had reported an incorrect removal numbers during discovery, revisiting its total from 300,000 to 161,000. Last month, Douglas Frank highlighted Mesa County as an example. Oh, it's Mesa County. Mesa County. What else happened in Mesa County? Tina Peters happened in Mesa County, okay? Tina Peters was in Mesa County, and all of this so much ties back to Mesa County. It's wild, folks. There is so much corruption and deceit and manipulation happening in Colorado, it's sickening. We got to let people know about this. Share this video. Give me a thumbs up. Let me know that you are sharing this information because it has to get out. Because people still live in this delusion that Colorado voter rolls and voter election integrity, that Colorado election integrity is beautiful and perfect, right? Jenna Griswold pulpits it again and again. Gold standard. Colorado has a gold standard of election integrity. See, they repeat the lie long enough that stupid people just believe it. Well, I'm not a stupid person. I'm going to continue questioning. I'm going to continue pressing this corruption and opening the doors of deceit. Because that's what's happening right now. You get corrupt people in positions of power who are going to continue to rig and game the system. Jenna Griswold is doing that exact thing. So yeah, I have it right here. I have it pulled up right here. Okay. Judicial Watch sued Colorado in 2020, and the case was finally settled in 2023. As a part of the settlement, Colorado agreed to clean up their voter rolls. Obviously, they aren't, as the example from Mesa County illustrates. The state claims that they are removing voters, and they are, but they fail to mention that they are adding back more voters than they are actually removing. The fact that the voter rolls in the state of Colorado are out of compliance with the state and federal law empowers Colorado counties to opt out of the state voter roll system. Judicial Watch victory. Colorado agrees to settle lawsuit over ineligible voters, agrees to extensive reporting and review of voter roll cleanup efforts. This was from March 30th, 2023. This was years ago, folks. Do you guys remember this? I don't remember this, and that's the thing that's the problem that happens is that so much of this information gets pushed under the rug because they don't want you to know how corrupt the system is in Colorado. Okay, take a look at this graph. Okay, this is a graph spanning 2 decades roughly. Election history for Mesa County, Colorado. You got the blue line is 18 and up population. The black line is registered voters, and the red line are voters who actually voted. Now take a look. What do you see in this graph? Population slowly inclines, and vote. You get the spikes up and down for the voter years. I do think that that the voter graph is rather interesting. I mean, obviously, we're going to see off-year voters go up and down. But over time, you see a incline. But what is interesting about this graph? What is really interesting about this graph? I'm gonna address Exhibit A right here. This huge spike in registered voters. Okay, registered voters right here. It goes from roughly 75,000 registered voters. It spikes from 2011. Up to 2013, you got over almost 108,000, maybe just over 100,000. So you get an increase of about 30,000 registered voters from 2011 to 2013. What happened? What possibly could have happened in those few years? Hello, Melindy. Appreciate you jumping in the chat. Appreciate you showing up. Thanks for coming in, folks. I am going to give me 2 quick seconds because I did not pull it up, but let's see. Now this one maybe. Let's do Yep. Here it is. Exhibit A. Okay. Right here, folks. HB 1303, Voter Access and Modernized Election Act. The bill is compliance with various changes to the Uniform Election Code of 1992. Residency, currently to be eligible, registered to vote, most person have resided. So it talks about the registration effects. But the main thing that I was bringing up with this, and I was pulling it up, was because it goes through the DMV. Where is it? Yeah. So in 2013, okay? It passed in 2013. Well, it was the 2012. It was the 2012 legislation process, but it went into effect in 2013. Okay? But let me see, because it says it right here. Where is DMV? County clerk. Okay, yeah. Registration. Under current law, voter registration must be effected no later than 29 days before an election to a person who casts a ballot in that election. The bill expands the timeline during which a person may register to vote in an election and describes the deadlines associated with various methods of voter registration. Specifically, a person may register by submitting voter registration application through the mail, voter registration agency, or voter registration drive, appear in person or at his county clerk and recorder's office when registration is permitted, applying via a local driver license examination facility or through the online voter registration system maintained by the Secretary of State through 8 days prior to an election. Visiting a voter service and a polling center during the time in which such a location is open, including on prior date of the election. Okay? And then you have this one here. What? No, not this. Go back. What is this? Get out of here. Not that. Yes. Maybe is it this one? Is it? Yeah. So this is just the bill information, but no, I don't need that. But yeah, essentially in 2013, all right, I'm done. I'm done sidetracking. But where is it? In 2013, based on this graph, we got a spike in 2013 of registered voters because of the DMV automatic voter registration process in Colorado. But what this graph is actually showing is this top right corner over here, where the registered voters exceed the 18 and up population. Do you see that over there? Do you see that little red chart over here? You've got roughly 8 to 10,000 more registered voters than the 18 and up population. 106% of voting age population registered. Now you tell me, you answer me, how does that happen? And I'll play devil's advocate. I'll be honest with you. In my opinion, there's two ways that happens. It happens by registering it happens by pre-registering voters under the age of 18. So if you are going through the DMV and you get your driver's license and you're 16 or 17, they might pre-register you to vote, and that might be getting added into this data. Okay, maybe let's play that angle. Sure, that might be a possibility in why you have more registered voters than actual 18 and up population. But, and a lot of people are going to agree with this, is that it's actually just illegal immigrants or undocumented immigrants or non-U.S. citizens that are being registered to vote above the 18 and up population. So you've got discrepancies here, folks. Discrepancies are rampant here in Colorado, okay? That's the point being made. But I am going to share this entire article. Fantastic article. Props to Rocky Mountain Voice. They used my picture that I pulled. So that's pretty cool. That's pretty awesome. But no, Jenna Griswold is... and I actually pulled up some of the legal statutes, the DOJ's request, and like how they can actually get around it. Long story short, essentially, the DOJ is just going to have to sue the state of Colorado to get the voter data, to get the voter access. The actual one that they're going to be using, I did cite the source in my prior Jenna Griswold post a couple days ago but the National Voter Registration Act of 1993, the NVRA, 52 U.S.C. 20501, enacted to streamline voter registration to ensure accurate lists. The NVRA requires the state conduct regular voter list maintenance, removing ineligible voters like deceased or non-residents, and responding to federal enforcement inquiries. That's the main angle that they're going to come at with this. And there's like several different things they could use. They can use the Help America Voter Act, the HAVA Act, Title 52 U.S.C. 20901. I've also referenced that one. Civil Rights Act of 1960, Voter Rights Act of 65. So there's lots of legal precedent that the DOJ can use when they sue Colorado. And it is going to happen. Given the DOJ's pattern, suits against Delaware, Maryland, and others, Colorado faces imminent litigation if Griswold persists. Griswold could counter with a Privacy Act or 10th Amendment arguments, but federal preemption is likely to prevail in court. That's what you got there, folks. That is what's going on with the disgusting Jenna Griswold piece of trash. We are gonna shift gears here. Hit that thumbs up button. Share this video. We are gonna be. I'm gonna be posting out a couple other shorter clip videos. Probably one going over what we just went over, but keep tuned to the channel. Subscribe, follow, and you'll get these shorter clips that are a lot easier to share if you don't want to share these live streams. But we are going to shift gears into the SNAP benefit fiasco. This is amazing. I love this. I love this picture of Weiser, folks. This picture of Weiser is, I mean, they're doing a great job with these screen grabs, right? They're doing a fantastic job. Weiser's a dumb bitch too, but all right, we're going into it, folks. Colorado and 21 other states sue the federal government. Wow, love it. Can't sleep easy. She needs to go, bro. California's doing the same. Yeah, dude. I'm checking updating on chat here. Cool. Right on, dude. Colorado and other... Wow. You ready? Are you ready, kids? Are you ready, kids? All right. Colorado and 21 other states sue the federal government over illegal immigrants receiving SNAP. This is what I call the Schrodinger's illegal immigrant SNAP benefits. They aren't receiving SNAP benefits, says Democrats across the country, while simultaneously, blue states are suing the DOJ over illegal immigrants needing SNAP benefits. Do you see the hypocrisy? Do you see the hypocrisy? So let's get into it, folks. I've got it right up here. Colorado joins the fight to keep SNAP benefits for illegal aliens. Oh, so they made this with AI. So that's not even a real photo. That's actually AI. That's kind of hilarious. State error penalty. This is an AI image, folks. That is awesome. Lawsuit versus USDA. Weiser for governor. SNAP benefit card. Colorado Attorney General. State error penalties. It's just a graph that goes up. That's fucking funny. AI. That's literally what you can do now. You can do that now. Colorado joined 21 other states in a lawsuit seeking to undo the Trump administration campaign to stop taxpayer-funded food aid from going to individuals illegally staying in the U.S., arguing the move could also implicate a group of non-citizens who should be eligible to get the benefits under the law. They're eating the cats. They're eating Schrodinger's cats. They're eating Schrodinger's dogs. They're eating the cats. They're eating the dogs. Oh, that's great. At issue is a guidance from the U.S. Department of Agriculture that implements the provisions of the congressional budget passed in July. That budget narrowed the groups of non-citizens who could receive supplemental nutrition assistance program benefits. Why do they list it like it's SNAP benefits? Supplemental nutrition assistance program is SNAP. Okay. The Congressional Budget Office estimates that some 90,000 on average will lose eligibility per month as a result of the new law. The individuals could have received about $200 per month on average, according to the office. Get them off the rolls. Get them out of there. If they're not paying into it, if they're not part of the system, why are we supplementing food assistance programs for people coming into this country? We can't even take care of our own citizens. We can't even take care of our veterans. We can't even take care of people who were born here and live here. Why is our government, why are these leftist enclaves justifying our taxpayer money going to illegal immigrants or residents who do not belong here in the first place? Why is this even a conversation, right? The lawsuit filed by the states argued that the USDA is incorrectly implementing the congressional budget provisions on SNAP. Specifically, the state said that their lawsuit deals with food stamp eligibility for legal permanent residents, regardless of the route they took before their immigration status was adjusted. The state said the USDA has excluded legal permanent residents of green card holders based on their previous status, including refugees, people granted an asylum, and parolees. Why are Democrats so fervent on defending and protecting non-citizens? They're globalists. These people want open borders. They want globalism. They want to extract the wealth of First Nation. I'm gonna calm down. They're trying to extract the wealth from first world countries and open border policies and globalism tactics to extract the wealth from these countries, from us, from residents who work and participate in these systems. They're here to extract it, weaken our own government. They're using the government against us, folks. They're using the systems that were here in place to help and assist legal residents. They're using the system against us. Many of the individuals who cross the American border illegally have been paroled into the U.S. Often, they apply for asylum once they're inside the United States. Many of the thousands who arrived in Metro Denver over the past 2 years, for example, have sought asylum. Once granted asylum, they can apply to adjust their status to permanent residency within 1 year of living here. That is what sanctuary city policies here in Colorado are allowing. And that's what Phil Weiser is fighting the Department of Justice for. He is defending illegal immigrants right now. It's absolutely disgusting. Look at, I love that photo. I love it. Yeah, so we're going to see how this plays out. 21 other states are doing a similar thing. And Colorado's leading the charge. Go figure. I think this is like the fucking, which one? This is like the 40-something attempt from Phil Weiser to sue the Department of Justice. Yeah, see here. You either didn't read the actual complaint or you're lying. It's specifically referring to legal residents. But see, the problem is, folks, is that the Democrats use liberal linguistics and they skew it. They shift it so that people, when stupid idiots like this person here read that, they think they're talking about U.S. citizens. Incorrect. We are not talking about U.S. citizens when they say legal residents. This is Liberal Linguistics 101. Liberal Linguistics 101 is right here. You either didn't read the actual complaint or you're lying. It's specifically referring to legal residents. This person does not understand how the Democrats operate. They change the words, they change the narrative, they shift what it means. Legal residence does not mean U.S. citizens. This here is a prime example of leftist linguistics. The left believes that no one is an illegal immigrant, and anyone who is in this country has a right to government handouts. The conservatives know that word means and want to keep taxpayer money for actual legal citizens. That's where I'm coming from. If you're not a U.S. citizen, you should not be able to access U.S. subsidies and U.S. taxpayer programs, right? Why are illegal immigrants a priority for Democrats? Answer me that. Why are they? Right? It's disgusting. pisses me off, folks. Pisses me off. Let me know what you think in the chat, folks. What do you think? Do you think that illegal immigrants should be receiving SNAP benefits? And you're going to have the, they pay into it. Legal residents or undocumented citizens, they pay taxes, so they should get access to it. Wrong. Sorry. Not playing that game. Not anymore. Not after all the bullshit, all the pomp and circumstance, rigmarole, clown show bullshit that the Democrats pull on us every single time. Government social programs are a gigantic flaw, and they're being government social programs are extracting our wealth and redistributing that wealth to illegal immigrants. That is the problem. And if you can't see it, I can't really help you. Government social programs are intended to help U.S. citizens as a hand up, as a benefit, as a temporary thing to get you back on your feet. Not to create a government dole and a government safety net for these illegal immigrants to just run here and then get all this government money when actual citizens aren't even getting the benefits. I myself am included. I'm a single father and I can't even apply for this stuff. I've been living here my whole life, working my butt off, 2 or 3 jobs at times, and I don't even qualify for these government assistance programs. Sometimes I do need it. It is a hand up. I'm not saying that they're bad programs. I'm saying they're being completely weaponized against us. I'm saying that they're completely being used in means that were not intended to be used. Afuera! Absolutely right. Afuera indeed, Seth. Afuera indeed. All right, we're gonna be we're gonna be trying to land this plane here, folks. It's been going on a little bit longer than I expected, but it's okay. It's fine. You know me. It happens all the time. Okay. Quick little side bit here. I can't watch this whole thing, but Ashley Troxel, she's the Denver GOP chair. Today, the title board hearing of Initiative 181, Democrats push for progressive income tax and the destruction of Tabor in Colorado. Watch this 9 News clip for more information. It's a 7-minute clip. I don't know if I'm going to watch this whole thing, but let's take a listen really quick. Because unfortunately, the progressives won. Unfortunately, the socialists won. But let's take a listen.
Welcome to the 9 News Business Buzz, where we take up what's happening in business, how it impacts you and our economy. I'm Ryan Frazier, 9 News business expert and CEO of Frazier Global. I'm joined by Ed Seelover of the Colorado Chamber of Commerce and the editor of the Sum and Substance. Ed, how's it going?
It's going great. Sum and Substance has been extra busy. TSScolorado.com.
I don't know if I'm going to watch
Now, there's a new coalition pushing a ballot initiative to replace Colorado's 4.4% flat income tax with a new graduated system. The proposal would give tax breaks to individuals and businesses earning under $500,000, but would significantly increase rates on higher earners, sparking a major debate about fairness and the economic impact. Now, Colorado's flat tax is a core part of its financial identity. The proposal would change that by creating a graduated system that ranges from 4.2% to 9.2%, according to your report.
Socialism.
Can you break down the numbers in this proposal, and who are the biggest winners and losers?
Well, I think to understand the real answer to that question, you have to start with why the Bell Policy Center is pushing this. The idea that they have here is that they feel like it's an unfair tax system. They want to make people who make more pay a little bit more, and they also want to stabilize the funding for state services ranging from education to health services that have been cut repeatedly in the last 2 years because of budget balancing maneuvers. So they say the reason to do this, the winners here are going to be anybody who gets state services. But if you just break down the numbers, as you were asking about, $500,000 is the dividing line here. If you are an individual or business making less than that, your tax rate will either go down or stay stable. And the way that they will calculate the tax rate means you will have to pay less taxes, as much as $200 in less taxes for people making between $200,000 and $500,000.
So this is a 7-minute clip. I retweeted this, so you go check it out on X. But this right here is Socialism 101, folks. Graduated tax, progressive tax bracketing, right? And what's going to happen is and Jared Polis and the Democrats in charge here in Colorado are going to continue price gouging, to continue raising these rates and justifying their means, right? Well, guess what's going to happen, folks? You're going to get businesses falling out, moving out of the state. The redistribution of wealth conversation does not work, okay? You have to allow for fiscal freedom. You have to allow for economic upward mobility. The more the government taxes you, the less freedom financially you have. And then on top of that, the government is proven to us over and over again. The government in Colorado has proven over and over again that they do not know how to manage our tax money. They do not know how to manage taxes. They keep pushing it and promoting their own little pet project and their stupid bridges to nowhere and infrastructure and all these other dumb, unnecessary things, paying for illegal health care, paying for illegal immigrant housing, you name it. They're redistributing our wealth, extracting it from the residents of Colorado into their own personal playbook. And it's absolute bullshit. I kind of did a little tangent there, but Ashley Trox was on the scene, so I highly recommend checking this video out. It's a fantastic, short little video. But unfortunately, the progressives won. They won, and it sucks. We are going to be wrapping up here. We got one last article I wanted to get into regarding the... It bothers me, okay? It really bothers me. But I want to make sure I pull up the right thing. So we're good on that. We're good on that. We're good on. It's fine. I don't need to break. I don't need to get rid of that. I can just. I'm doing this in real time, folks. You know me. I always do it in real time. All right. Let's hit it. Okay. This is Textbook Agenda 2030. Okay. This is Textbook Agenda 2030 playbook. Transitioning away from reliable energy sources to 100% electric. Xcel is also price hiking Colorado residents an additional 50% more by 2030. I got a question. Tell me, how does Xcel plan to navigate this full electric energy grid during winter months in Colorado, if this is their proposed agenda? Okay? Because right now, Xcel and the PUC in Colorado and Governor Polis are all pushing for 100% electric infrastructure by 2050. That is their agenda. They want to completely remove natural gas from the equation here in Colorado for your heating and electric bill, right? No more natural gas. They want to remove natural gas entirely in Colorado. Let's go over here. This is a woman out of Connecticut, and she is going to show you a breakdown of a dimly lit, abysmal future. This is the dystopian future that Colorado will be a part of if we don't stop this now, if we don't call this out right now. Let's take a listen.
I'll show you the craziest thing I've ever seen in my entire life. You ready? This is our electric bill. For one month.
Let me turn this up a little bit. Sorry, hold on. Let me.
I'm going to show you the craziest thing I've ever seen in my entire life. You ready? This is our electric bill for 1 month. We live in the beautiful state of Connecticut. Our total supply that we used for the month was $236.71. The
Pretty
transmission
reasonable.
was $87.01. The local delivery, I don't know how the fuck they deliver it, but we have to pay for it. It's $175.16. And then we have a thing called public benefits. So this is the people who can't pay for their electric bill. And we pay for it. It's $227.76. So I am paying to keep somebody else's lights on. Excuse me, what? Make it make sense. I'm going to show you the craziest thing I've ever seen in my entire life.
Yeah.
You ready?
So it says it right here. My electric bill is over $1,100 and almost none of it is for electricity. They're charging this person a public benefits fee that's nearly equal to her actual usage, essentially making her pay to keep someone else's lights on. Not to mention the transmission fee and these other additional fees. This is how Colorado gets around all of their raising taxes BS. It's all fees, right? It's all fees and fines and imposing implementation of finances and various different workaround ways, because they're not raising taxes, they're just imposing fees. Almost $1,100 a month. This is the dystopian future that Colorado is going to be a part of if we don't speak out about this right now. Okay? Colorado House Republican leaders condemn the POC's Colorado House Republicans leaders condemn the PUC's costly electrification mandate. House Minority Leader Jarvis Caldwell and Assistant Minority Leader Ty Winter today condemned the Public Utilities Commission decision to mandate a 41% reduction in natural gas emissions over the next decade. The ruling forces Colorado families to pay for an aggressive statewide electrification plan that will require hundreds of thousands of homeowners and landlords to replace existing heating systems with expensive electric heat pumps and appliances. This is 100% Agenda 2030. What in the hell is the PUC doing to the people of Colorado in the name of climate activism? The very families they claim to help are the ones who will be pushed back to the brink by this mandate. Our state is already mismanaged and running billion-dollar deficits. So who exactly is going to pay for this? The decision will hit low-income families, small businesses, and Colorado economies the hardest, said Minority Leader Caldwell. Under the new mandate, Xcel and other natural gas providers are required to overhaul home heating systems, expand high-cost incentive programs, and raise rates to fund widespread electrification efforts. Meeting these targets will require unprecedented levels of customer participation and billions of dollars spent on forced equipment replacements, home retrofits, and utility-driven upgrades. Like, this is 100% dystopia. I'm enraged by this because I saw this earlier today, and for anyone who's not in Colorado, you gotta look into this in your home state. But Colorado's already shoving this shit down our throats, and it's absolutely bullshit. From the Colorado Sun, the PUC finalizes plan to push natural gas out of Colorado home heating to hit 100% decarbonization. Xcel and other utilities must make 41% cuts to natural gas heating emissions in 10 years, transition fully by 2050. This is the whole article here. I don't know if I'm going to break down this entire article, but what is this? Wait, what? Sorry, I got to read this. This is fucking ridiculous. Okay. I just saw a meaningful win for Latino and working class families. So let's read what angle they're coming at from the Colorado Sun. The PUC's compromise, robust in the eyes of the Environmental Coalition, will help maintain Colorado's leadership in gas utility decarbonization and send clear signals to help drive successful transition away from reliance on fossil gas. The Colorado Energy Office and the Health Department's Air Pollution Control Division asked for a 30% target by 2035, the Sierra Club added. The final targets are a meaningful win for Latino and working class families who deserve clean air, lower energy bills, and healthier homes, said Cristo Luna, Deputy Colorado Director for the nonprofit advocacy group Mi Familia Vota. This decision moves Colorado closer to an equitable transition away from fossil gas. I can't. That enrages me so much. Gandalf, what do you got to say to that shit?
You shall not pass!
Absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely insane level of diversity, equity, and inclusion. This DEI level, Agenda 2030, open borders, and lensing environmental and utility transitional process through the lens of racial equity. That is so fucking disgusting. Jesus Christ. Like, why did they even, like, that has nothing, like, sorry, I'm stuck on this. The conversation of a huge win for Latino and working class families who deserve clean air, like, make it make sense, folks. This is the liberal economic order agenda. This is Agenda 2030, 100%. Lensing ethnic-based environmental policies. Like, fuck, dude. God, I'm like fired up. Let's read this part here. But the majority of cuts will need to come from more effective overhauls of home and building heating systems, replacing natural gas burning furnaces with electric-driven heat pumps and other clean heating services. There are also plenty of gains to be had from accelerating installation of more efficient appliances and home insulation, advocates say. Excel's version of required clean heat plans emphasized efficiency and electrification, which were shown to be the most cost-effective promising measure. All right, I can keep going. I'm gonna be fired up. I'm gonna be way too fired up if I keep going with this. But let's bring it back home, folks. This is the article, and highly recommend checking me out on X. Break the Chains M on X. But this is 100% a globalist initiative, right? And what they're trying to instill, what they're trying to do right now, if they get 100% electrification of home heating and appliances, this is the smart grid. This is the smart system technologies that will be intimately tied with a social credit score, a government database to track, trace, and identify anyone and everyone in their system. So hypothetically, if your social credit system, if your social credit score drops below a certain number, maybe you only get 80% of your heating allotment for the month. Maybe they just do rolling brownouts because it's all electrified. So it's tied into their smart grid technology. So this is all tied into their smart grid system. So they might just do rolling brownouts. They already do rolling brownouts to some degree as it stands right now. But 100% electrification would only give them more totalitarian control of how we live our lives within their government dystopia technocracy. 100%. This is the goal. This is their agenda. Folks, it fires me up. It pisses me off. It makes me just a little bit enraged. It enraged me a little bit more, you know? Makes me pissed off. But, you know, I'm passionate. I get angry, but at the end of the day, these are the conversations that we need to have. These are the fights that we need to have every single day, especially if you aren't here in Colorado. Definitely give me a thumbs up. Follow this stream, follow this channel, because all of my stuff, 80% of my stuff, I try to tie it back to Colorado and how it affects us here in Colorado, how national decisions, national news impacts us here, and then tying in local issues and local legislation. All these things, you got to be more aware. We got to be more involved. We got to be more in the know when it comes to your local politics, your local policies, and what's happening in our area. But I am wrapping up this live stream. I always go longer than I need to, but is it really bad? Because, I think these are all good conversations that need to be had, right? These have to be, this stuff has to be talked about, because it's not being talked about as it should, as much as it should. And I know this stuff just kind of, it just came down to the wire today.
Mary Mark Green and outspent the debt.
Silly me. It's fine. I am getting ready for us to raid over to the Beanie compound over here. But folks, I do appreciate everyone that joined me in the stream today. We do live streams 3 times a week. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I release videos when I have them edited and when I have them good to go. So make sure you follow the channels. Follow me on Instagram. Follow me on X at Break the Chains M. YouTube, Rumble, Facebook, you name it. It's all there. Break the Chains Media. But without further ado, we are rating Timcast IRL, and I appreciate everyone in the stream. Folks, I love you. I appreciate you. And as always, fight for freedom and never give up.